Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Friday morning, as always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Wanted to take a slight break from A Great Band You Need to Listen To series. I'm having a blast doing this series, rediscovering great bands and artists that I have in my collection and presenting them to you guys. Based on the comments, you guys are really enjoying the series, which means a lot to me. Thank you so much for all your wonderful, wonderful comments. And definitely want to continue to do that series. I think it's a great way to show you guys and maybe introduce you guys or reintroduce you guys to some great bands and artists. But today I want to do an album review. This is the third time I've done this opening because I keep on screwing up the title of the album. Because I want to call it something else, but it's not. So today I'm gonna, and I've had a chance to listen to this album, not regularly, believe it or not, but at least over the last month, at least 4 or 5 times. And it is Jethro Tull, The Zealot Gene. I kept on calling it The Zealot Game when I was trying to do this intro. But it's The Zealot Gene. I'm not big on that cover, by the way. But I'm going to have a look at this album, give my output on it, and my overall ranking of the album. Before I get into it, though, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. Want to continue to put great content out there to be informative and to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection. It's because of you guys, your likes, your subscriptions, your wonderful, wonderful comments that keep me going, keep me motivated to do this kind of thing, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So The Zealot Gene. Again, I would prefer, this is the inner sleeve booklet. I would have preferred that cover. Wouldn't that have made a beautiful cover? Or even that one there. But anyway, I don't make that decision. It's definitely an Ian Anderson-led project. There's the CD cover there. And really enjoyable album. I've had a blast listening to it. So it's the 22nd album by Jethro Tull. And it's on Inside Outside Music. Took almost 5 years to make the album itself, partially due to the COVID lockdowns. People did their own parts here and there, and it was up to Ian Anderson to put it all together. It includes an entirely new band, led, of course, by Ian Anderson, the mainstay of Jethro Tull. And it's the first album since their second album, Stand Up, which was way back in the late 60s, 68, 69, something like that. Not to feature guitarist Martin Barr, which is a shame. He gave Tull that unique sound, but you got to move on. I think he's coming here to our hometown in Belleville, Ontario soon as a solo artist, and I've got to get some of his solo work. An amazing, amazing player. But so a completely new lineup. It could have really been an Ian Anderson solo album, but he brought that Tull element into it. And I'm not complaining on that fact. It's just a different sound. So it includes, and I'm probably going to mess up this last name, but it says the guitarist Florian Opahai, I believe that's how you pronounce it, on guitar, who actually left during or before the release of the album. Bassist David Goodyear, keyboardist John O'Hara, and drummer Scott Hammond. There is another guitarist that played on the track who is now part of Jethro Tull, and Joe Parrish James, who took over from Florian Opahai, and I think I'm pronouncing that, or Opale. I don't know, Opahile. But this bunch of musicians have been with Ian for quite a while, and really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Of course, Ian Anderson on all vocals and flutes and acoustic guitar, mandolin and harmonica. Jacko Jankics, sorry, I'm going to screw up that word as well, from King Crimson, the great lead singer and amazing guitarist for King Crimson, did all the 5.1 mixing on the album as well. Not quite a concept album, but it does have religious references to all the songs from the Bible in the lyrics. It even highlights the chapter and verse of each biblical chapter. This is more of a gentler album than their previous albums. For two reasons, I feel. The lack of Martin Barre's guitar work, and B, as a result of Anderson's vocal range. It's definitely not as strong as the earlier works, because of illnesses, because of age. So they built the songs around the range that Ian Anderson could reach. So you're not going to see an Aqualung or a Bungle in the Jungle or anything, Cross-Eyed Mary. You're not going to see any of that stuff on here. And that's understandable. I mean, it's a brand new album. It's you know, a long time. It was almost 50 years before, or whatever length of time that was. So it's understandable. All new songs, but the vocal range, because again of his I'm not sure what went on. He's got some type of disease or some type of illness, so the vocal strength isn't there. But he still sounds good. I would prefer I would have preferred this picture here as the album cover, rather than this weird looking with no shirt on Ian Anderson. Looks like a devil spawn or whatever. But anyway, again, if you're listening to, if you think you're going to hear Aqualung or Thick as a Brick, or War Child, you're not. But you may find part of and elements of Crest of a Knave, Rock Island, Roots to Branches, elements of them, but not like them. You got that folk acoustic happening here. You got some medieval bard type of songs. You got some rockin' tracks with great flute, great guitar work, great riffs, but it's not going to be the same rockin' album. But you've got on here that of course Ian can still sing and play. Can't sing as well as he used to, but he can still sound good. And it comes in about 45 minutes, 46 minutes in length. Some 6-minute songs, some 3.5-minute songs. Most tracks are 3.5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. A couple of over 5 minutes. Really well produced, but it seems toned down. I don't know if that's the right word to. The guitars could have been a little bigger sounding. The riffs are kind of muted. But you've got on here, it starts off with Mrs. Tibbetts. And again, every song, as I said, references a Bible chapter and verse. So Mrs. Tibbetts refers to Genesis 19, 24 through to 28. I love the rhythm of Mrs. Tibbetts. Classic Tull flute. Again, the guitars could have been a little louder. I don't know why it seems toned down. Maybe the mix made it that way, but it's a great way to open up the album. It sounds so good. Then you have Jacob's Tale from Genesis 25, 27 to 33. Great harmonica in that one. I love it. Pretty much acoustic track, and the harmonies, again, like a bard telling a tale, like a medieval bard telling a tale of Jacob. Then you get Mine is the Mountain from Exodus 20 to 47, and chapter 30, verse 7. Great, powerful song, heavy riffs, really good play between the guitar and the flute, the classic Tull play between the guitar and the flute. Again, I wish the guitars were a little more up front. That's my only downfall of this album, is that I love a great guitar sound on especially a Tull album, and that's where we're missing Martin Barre, I think. You got the title track, The Zealot, Gene, from Numbers 25, 7 through 11, and Ezekiel 9 through 4 to 7. Classic Tull sound again, rockin' track. Ian sounds so good on this one. So what I found is the first half of the album is more of a rockin' album. The latter half is more acoustic flute mixture. Maybe they could have blended it a little more to not separate the two. Then you got Shoshana Sleeping from the Songs of Solomon. Great tone on this weird tuning track, but they make it work. It's hard to describe. I wish I could play it. There's weird toning on here. The lyrics are all over the place. Some spoken word as well, again, because Ian Anderson's vocals aren't that strong. And when he sings, he's almost talking as well. And that's not a that's not a put down of his vocal strength. It's just the way he is made to sing now. But there are some spoken words in Shoshana Sleeping. Sad City Sisters, sorry, from Ezekiel 23, 2 to 11. Another bard type of track with a cool accordion in it. An old English tale type of thing. You could see just the dark streets and everything else in this tale. It's really, really good. Then you have Barren Beth, Wild Desert John from Luke 1, 36 to 41. Classic flute opening. Heavy riffs on that one as well. Awesome solo in it. One of the few on the albums with a big solo. But I love that. I love it. And then we have Where Did Saturday Go from Luke 23, 52 to 56. Soft little ditty. Nice little organ and flute and acoustic guitar. Again, a softer track. And to me, and I'm getting ahead of myself here, but there's no real highlights. Like, you're not gonna, this song's not gonna draw you in. It's a mixture of blending all the album together. So you're not gonna find that one track that, like an aqualung, that's just gonna blow you away. Then you have 3 Hours 3. Weird title. Sorry, 3 Hours. 3 Loves 3. Sorry, 3 Loves, comma 3 from John 21, 15, 17. Another acoustic flute type of track. And one of the later songs. It's got the same formula going on. Not the again, not the strongest song on the album, but still enjoyable. In Brief Visitation, John 21 and 25, and Luke 24 to 12, and Luke 24 verse 12, and kind of continues on from 3 Loves 3. I didn't realize until I looked at it that it was 2 separate songs, because it just kind of blends into 3 Loves 3. But again, I thought it was the same song, but still a good song, nice and soft and slow. And then it ends with the Fishermen of Ephesus from Acts 5, 40 to 42. Great way to end the album. Classic flute, and but it needed a more dramatic end, I felt. But great track, great track. So overall, I think I've got everything here. Not as good as, say, Roots to Branches, which I really enjoyed that album. But overall, a great album and enjoyable. Classic Tull sound, with the flute. Threw in some great harmonica work in there. Of course, a lot of acoustic guitar. Some great riffing by the guitarists. I just wish the tone was a little, the guitar was a little more up front. That's the only downfall I feel on this one. Maybe it was the way it was mixed. I'm not sure why. But overall, the album was well produced and mixed. It just, in certain parts, it just feels muted. I don't know how else to explain that. Maybe someone else who's listened to the album can explain that comment to me. But I found I could just put it on and enjoy it. Again, kind of playing in the background. Again, not a huge track on the album that would draw you in, like a Cross-Eyed Mary, Locomotive Breath, Aqualung. No big tracks. There's some enjoyable tracks on there. Maybe they could have mixed it up a little bit, put the stronger tracks mixed in with some of the lesser tracks. But again, Ian's vocals aren't as strong as they used to be, and the music is built around his range and his comfort zone. But got 12 great tracks on this one. They draw from different elements of their past, as far as Jethro Tull. The first half is better than the last because of the mixture of harder edged songs than more acoustic songs. Again, if they would have blended it together, maybe it'd be a different sounding album. But some of the highlights, again, you got Mrs. Tibbetts, sorry. Mine is the Mountain, the title track, The Zealot, Gene. So Shanna Sleeping, some great tracks on there. Will it be a go-to album if I wanted to listen to Tull? Yeah, I put it on. Of course, you go to the classics. You go to the classics for sure, but it's an enjoyable album. And I've got some later albums from Tull that I don't hardly listen to much anymore. Rock Island, that type of thing. But every once in a while, you throw them in and listen to them. I think overall, I would definitely listen. Would I give it a... it's not going to be a 10 out of 10, but it's going to be, I'd say, an 8 or a 9 out of 10 as far as overall album. And it's definitely one to add to your collection. And again, with the biblical references, with his unique writing, I think this guy's a master of writing. I think it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 because of the cover. But overall, an enjoyable album. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. You're not going to hear old Tull on this one. You're just going to hear a later, more aged, like wine, Ian Anderson. But it fits and molds into the great songs that are on this album, and it takes you on a journey. A lot of these songs take you on a journey, and you can picture what's happening within each song. He paints the picture of this medieval bard type of track in some of the songs, and overall, I really enjoyed it. So, anyway, guys, take care. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.